I would also, if I might ask a couple of questions.
Sure.
The chairman just suggested a minute ago that limiting early voting was somehow voter suppression and even racist. Mr. Cuccinelli, do you know how many days early voting the state of Texas has?
Yeah, the state of Texas has 17 early days of voting.
Do you know how many days of early voting the state of Georgia has?
Georgia has 17 days of early voting.
Do you know how many days of early voting the state of Arizona has?
18 days of early voting.
Okay. How about Chairman Blumenthal's home state of Texas, home state of Connecticut? How many days of early voting? Connecticut has zero?
Zero.
I thought no early voting was racist voter suppression.
Well, I don't think it is, but certainly the allegation's been made.
Well, maybe Connecticut's an outlier. How about Delaware, the home state of President Biden? Surely they've got more than these horrible states of Texas and Georgia, right?
No early voting in Delaware.
Zero?
Zero.
Like not one day?
Not one day.
So why are Democrats claiming no early voting is voter suppression when Democratic states like Connecticut and Delaware have zero, not a zilch?
Because it is politically convenient to do so.
Thank you.
I might just point out to the ranking member what his own residents told me earlier today. As I mentioned earlier, I wish he'd been there. The effects of those laws on their practical access to the ballot place, the intimidation that has taken place in Texas as a result of those laws. And in Connecticut, we are moving toward expanding voting access through both statutes and constitutional amendments. It is exactly the opposite trend. Instead of constraining and restricting ballot access, as is being threatened in the state of Texas, the state of Connecticut is actually moving to expand voting rights.
Mr. Chairman, what do you do with the fact that voter turnout has increased and minority voter turnout has increased in the states that you're demonizing right now?
Voting turnout increased across the country, and as the ranking member well knows, the rights of individuals are not measured in the overall numbers of turnout. They're measured in individual access to the ballots. A measure that restricts in a discriminatory way that access to the ballot is wrong and should be held illegal, and the purpose of the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act is to open that kind of access.
So is Connecticut's current law vote suppression with no early voting at all?
We're moving in the direction of opening ballot access through statutes that have been passed during this session of the legislature and a constitutional amendment that is in progress to be passed overall.
If I may, on early voting...
But I have to say, I don't mean to interrupt, we have a vote that I believe